Hey everybody, it's Lacey. Welcome to Paws and Paper. So it's been a while since I've done a video. We are rounding out our soccer season here. And the weather's starting to turn a little bit colder. So hopefully I'll get to be spending a little bit more time in my crafty space. But I have completed 2 journals. In the meantime, just working on them here and there. And this one here we were working on, I have done a couple videos on. This was the washed and worn journal. I have a couple videos on this one, but I have it all completed, and I will have this one in my Etsy shop. And I also tried a new style here. So this is like more of like a trifold type, but I've used a whole bunch of different vintage and antique laces and appliques, and I think it turned out really cool. So let's do a quick flip through of each one of these that are available. So this washed and worn journal here, the cover of it is an old dictionary, and it is a 6x9, so a nice size hardback book. And I didn't want to cover up the book too much. I really like the natural aging. Even like the corner is worn off, so I really like that, and I didn't want to cover up that book, so we went with just this pretty applique. Well, this was actually a part of a panel of a curtain, but I tea dyed it, and I thought it turned out pretty cool. And when I dyed it, whatever they had written on it came through, and I thought that writing was kind of neat. So all right, let's go through this journal. There's lots of different stitching around the pages, Edith Holden, and some different laces, lots of book page collage, different pieces of ephemera tucked in here. I was trying my hand at some coffee dyeing. I finally came across a plastic, really old vintage tablecloth. They're a lot harder to find than I thought. So I finally did some coffee dyeing, and I thought it turned out really cool. So there's some fun pieces to play with in there. Lots of different tucks, different tags, all backed with coffee stained paper. Lots of authentic different pieces of vintage, and sometimes I have some antique ephemera in here, just old magazine pages, just different fun things to kind of look at and explore and play with. Some interactive elements, put some doilies. I done some glitter watercolor, thought those turned out kind of cool. Different embossing pages. This here is embossed. The tea dyed, or the tea bags, we did a video on the embossing of those. Different little pieces of ephemera, tags. Some of that rickrack I used as a border. Some old photographs that I've turned into a journaling card. Some pretty embossed index cards with some watercoloring on them. Lots of grungy pages. Some texture paste that I've colored. These are cool. I thought this was just a neat little fun piece. If you actually look at all these receipts here, some of them actually tell you how much certain things, like this is like the grocery receipts. And in here, I just thought it was kind of funny because, like, bacon was $1.29. Cottage cheese was 79 cents. I just think these things are fun to run across, because then you kind of, like, look back and see, oh, like, a loaf of bread was 95 cents. And you see how milk, 63 cents. Paper towels, 89 cents. I mean, that stuff, like, that people actually kept track of, and they're, like, thinking nothing of it. It's really cool pieces of ephemera to come across, so I just thought that was kind of neat. This is just a fun journal to look through. Here's a little tiny little notepad we had made with the scrap cutoffs. I think I did a video on that. Like I said, lots of book page collage. Fun, different. This is just an old envelope that you could turn into a flip or a tuck or whatever. This is a really old book page. Did some cool embossing. Backed it on some tea-dyed paper. Pockets with some different things tucked in. Just a really pretty, this is just a postcard from a calendar I had gotten. You could coffee dye that and stick that in here. That would be cute. More old pieces of vintage ephemera. This one, what is this one? Oh, like household goods. Moving and storage. Again, these are just kind of fun. This tells them everything that they must have moved. Yep. Blue beanbag chairs, long tube fishing poles, on and on and on. Somebody was moving, so that's kind of interesting. It's from 1982. Just cool pieces to read. I love just reading those pieces of ephemera come across. Just more old magazine pages, the embossing, more old pieces of ephemera. Just another tuck there. That's just a printable, cool old picture. More authentic vintage ephemera. This journal was fun to do. Here's an old, really old envelope, and this is just a really pretty Christmas card. I thought it's kind of shiny, like the paper and everything's really pretty. It's kind of iridescent almost. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of showing up on camera. But I just thought that was such a pretty old Christmas card. And the color's nice and beige. It got real worn over time. But I just thought that was really pretty from 1938. When you didn't even have to write hardly an address. Like you just put the person's name, what street, and what city and state. There's no zip code, no nothing. Kind of cool. Here's an old stock certificate from 1938. It's kind of cool. It's got all the attachments on it. This is just a savings bond certificate. Just cool pieces of ephemera. Was trying to find things that look like a scrapbook type collection. This I just made a little flip out, tuck some little cool playing cards in there. I thought the backs of those were neat. More cool magazine pages. The embossing on the tea bags. Lots of collages everywhere. Little pieces. Oh, this letter. Okay, this is funny because this looks like it's a kid's letter, and it must be to, well, it is to a grandma, and must be dear grandma and ward. But anyway, it's from a little girl, I would assume. But what's funny about this is she's like, she asked how her grandma was and whatever, and just I sure hope we can get those guns back. The investigations say that, I don't know if I should read the name because somebody might, whatever. Alibi checks out, but we keep getting more and more clues every day. It's getting suspenseful. So I'm like, oh my gosh. The things innocent children say that show up in letters years later. But I just thought that was funny, and I had to laugh because I was reading that letter and I'm like, oh my gosh, that could have been like an actual crime case that has been going on, and some kid was writing to their grandparents about it, and now it's being passed down in history apparently. Here's a really pretty old cabinet card, 1929. Just a really pretty picture. Some more. These are like postcards that like fold up. So got a cool, interesting letter there. 1970s. Some of these savings stamps. Those are fun to play with. Whole sheet of those. Oh, this was, this is another interesting one. From 1907, someone wrote down, age 20 months, Ida. These must have been all the words she knew. Coat, shoe, it looks like Tahoe, stocking, talk. That must be how she says it. Hood on hat, bye, bye, how do, toe, on and on and on. And they wrote how they must have said it, like cracker, crocker. I thought that was so cute. So this was like somebody's writing everything down that their kid knew how to say from 1907 and how they said it. I thought that was cute. So that's just a nice, fun piece. In there, interesting things you find. I don't know. You know, you think you save something and that is meaningless, but you come across it years later and it's interesting to somebody, you know. I thought it was interesting. Some more embossing. And this was just a cute little tag I had made. More of that coffee stained. It did turn out really good. I was happy with how those turned out. So, and then it's just got some lace trim at the top. This is just a small little belly band at the bottom. Here's a really old piece of paper from, I don't think this is from like this is like a bank deed or something like that. Like, you know how they had those big, huge papers after papers? But it is from 1864. I can't really read what it all says in there, but anyway, I believe on the back here it says something about, well, they crossed all this off, but I don't know. It has to be like from like the purchase of a house or a loan or something like that. Anyway, I just thought that was a cool piece of really old ephemera from the 1800s with a cool calligraphy. And that's just a map book pocket there. And this here, I had just covered some book page with some pretty lace. And this is just a nice big journaling card with some more of that fabric from the front cover. Lots of fun pages to continue to decorate. Here I just did a little collage of book page and some old pretty ribbon. Cute little pocket. Made just a tiny little journal card out of a printable. This is just really pretty German book page. I love that Gothic text. Very pretty. I have very few of that Gothic text, and I really love those pages. So that's about the end of this one, but just a really cool, fun journal. Very grungy, some neat, interesting things to discover in there. And then on to this one. And this one here, like I said, is covered in all kinds of vintage and antique laces and doilies and appliques. And I had just taken this velvet ribbon. It is sewn in there, and it just wraps around it. This is removable. It's just a charm. And I put it on a lobster claw. It's just through this old piece of doily there. And it's just a scissors and a button and a ruler. And I just thought it was a really pretty dangle. You can leave it on there. You can take it off. And then it folds open like this. But I'll show you the whole back here. Here's the whole back. So see how pretty? It's just smattered in lace and doilies and just super, super pretty. It is semi-soft. It's sturdy, but it is a softer cover. And I covered the inside here. This is a really old, I think from 1830s, I believe, or 40s, from like a weekly news printing type thing. But I just thought that was really cool as the back cover here. It does have a pocket on the back. Some really old book page. The big pocket on the back. Just has an envelope full of different ephemera pieces, stickers, odds and paper pieces. Some are modern, some are vintage. Just some fun stuff to play with. But this really pretty teal background. I love these colors on here. And I just made a pocket. And then I had done this tag up here, just like a collage. I got one of those frames and just some different cutout pieces on some coffee stained paper. This is from a really old ledger. Has the AB at the top there. Thought it was really cool how that notched out. It's even got some writing there. Here's some of that my coffee stained paper that I did with my tablecloth, my doily tablecloth. This is just a altered paper clip. Just sticks right on there. There is an old postcard on there. Some of that 1901 magazine. Just some lace on the edge. Some grid paper. This is a French invoice from 1965. Very cool. I just tucked some things in there. This is that embossed paper I did with chocolate molds. I just thought the pop of color was really pretty with this napkin index card that I turned into a journal card with just some different collaging. But just adds a nice bit of color with all the really dark browns and different things in this journal. This here is just a printable of an old letter from 1876. It's just on a really nice, thicker resume type paper. But check out these ladies. Aren't they having a good time? I just thought this was a perfect picture. Just an old photograph. Put it on some, I don't know what this is. It's kind of more like a linen type paper. And then made a nice journaling spot. And then there's some, this is some vintage tracing paper, so it has a real nice color to it. I didn't dye that, that's just its natural color. This is just some really cool, this is actually like ship's log. It is French, ship's log, but look at all that intricate, really fancy, I mean, like they did some major coordinate calculations. I mean, very, very meticulous. So I thought that was really cool. This centerpiece here in the center signature I thought was neat. So I have this huge ledger and it opens up way big. I don't know if you can see. See if we can get all this in frame. See how big this is. It is a monster. All the way down to there. I can't even get the whole thing in there. It is on my mat. How tall is my mat? 17 inches. This is roughly 17 inches tall. It is a huge piece of really cool written ledger. I think it was from like a lodge, like meeting minutes, 1867. Very cool though. And I didn't want to tear it in half or anything, so I just made it like the great big fold out signature. So well, that was kind of fun. Here's just the other side of that ship's log. Tracing paper. Here's some more. This is a neat, really thin, neat paper. It's like an airmail, but really typed up from 1971. But really cool, and it's got like all these greetings from New Zealand. Yeah, pretty cool. I'll go into the U.S. from New Zealand. Anyway, I just thought it was a really cool piece. And then some more of that, here's another piece of that embossed paper. This one's like a coffee stained one from those how to emboss with chocolate molds. Just that printable. Here is a piece. I just thought this was really pretty too. When I had done my black bean die, the tracing paper turned out really pretty. And so I wanted to include a piece of that blue in here. So I like that piece just for a different texture in here. Another altered paper clip. The doilies coffee stained. Some really old lined paper. Here's just another tag I had made up. And the other side of the French invoice. Here's just an air mount envelope I had done the black bean die on. Just another journal card I had collaged up. Oh, the delineator, that's what it was from. That was like a 1900s magazine. That's what that cover is from. This one too. 1900s, not 18. So this was like 1901. Yeah. Some more of this. And this is on this is like that real thick like watercolor paper. So I don't know if that's why it turned out really cool, but can you see like those, how it turned out there? I think maybe it's because it's the watercolor paper, but it turned out kind of neat. This here I just did an extension and added on just a piece of that like the ledger type paper with some fabric. Here's another altered or collaged up tag I had made. This just has some lace and appliques down the side. Just a stamped piece. This is a pocket at the back here. I added some of the scraps. This is that linen type paper. Real soft pink. Really pretty. And here's just a cut off of that really, the lined notebook paper. Just thought those were pretty in there. And then like I said, then it's got this back pocket here lined. And it is all lined with music page in there. And then the fabric here on the crease, on the fold. But yeah, that's this one. So this was just a little bit different style for me. I thought it turned out really pretty though. Like some of these pieces in here are just really old, really pretty pieces of lace and doily. And I've been wanting to do like a collage like this on a journal. So I hope you guys enjoyed these two flip throughs. And all I did with this one here to tie it, I just kind of did a faux knot around and it holds it shut. So if you guys are interested, these two journals will be available in my Etsy shop. Go take a look. And hopefully here soon I'll get back to making some regular crafting videos. So I wish you all a good evening, good day, good morning, and I will see you later. Get your paws dirty and get crafty. Bye.